Magic Eden, which is the titan of Solana NFTs, is expanding to, drumroll please, Ethereum. Interesting. Adding Ethereum NFTs to the mix over at Magic Eden, which has really made its mark as the leading Solana NFT marketplace out there in Solana land. So this one is notable. Obviously, a lot of teams are building with cross-chain in mind. Mentioned in the article on CoinDesk is that more than 2 chains are ultimately likely for Magic Eden. Other networks will likely be supported, but it doesn't necessarily always mean that they're going to be a big hit right away on Ethereum, right? We saw OpenSea, which is the titan of Ethereum NFTs, add Solana, and that was met with kind of a tepid response. So it's going to be really interesting to see if these additional chains that these marketplaces add, if it really makes a difference in terms of juicing user activity, trading volumes, and other key metrics as these marketplaces become key pillars of the crypto economy. I'm going to toss this straight to Wendy for her initial thoughts on Magic Eden making the jump to Ethereum.
I think it's fantastic. I like to have different options when I'm trading NFTs, crypto, whatever it is. And I think it's very important to note that there's still a lot of toxicity in crypto. Like we do know that, Bitcoin maximalists are probably the most toxic out of the entire space, especially on Twitter. But you do see folks from Ethereum and folks from Solana kind of battle each other, like which one is the best, which one's going to the moon, et cetera. But I think it's more important to not do that, because when you fight about petty stuff like which chain is better, what network is better, it's kind of taking away from the building and like the actual money making aspect of it. I think it's a great idea. And I think regardless if you're a Solana fan or an Ethereum fan or Cardano or whatever it is, I think it's important to note that people are going to like different collections from different networks, and I want them to be able to have the option. And I think it was a smart move business-wise for Magic Eden to do this, because they seem to be, Ethereum and Solana seem to be the top chains in NFTs currently.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that this is a multi-chain project and not a cross-chain one, like the last story we were just talking about. I think, OpenSea had the first mover advantage and the Ethereum brand name behind them for so long. So they amassed these users, but then we saw all of these issues start to pop up, and we've had this conversation on the show before, like who's going to steal that throne from OpenSea. And I think Magic Eden has a good chance. I think it's a little bit different when you start on Solana and then you make Ethereum NFTs available, rather than what OpenSea did. They started on Ethereum, made Solana NFTs available. I think they're going after a different audience. A different audience would start on Solana and then become interested in what's happening on Ethereum. And so I think it's really interesting. I also really like that they have a few tools that are like really easy to use for a newcomer to the space. So they have their minting toolkit, their whitelisting tools, and marketing support. I think if they are able to continue to add features like that, we will start to see people kind of venture away from some of the platforms we saw successful during the last bear market. And so I look forward to the NFT marketplace wars. I'm imagining a swipe where we can see like two boxing people in a boxing ring, and then we can put like little NFT marketplace logos on their head as we follow the NFT marketplace wars. But that's where I'm going to leave my thoughts on that.
I've got a quick question. Do they have a token? Does Magic Eden have
Magic Eden?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know
right?
about that. I think they did like a DAO recently, so maybe there is a token doing some of that, but I don't think they're, not to my knowledge.
Because I know that LooksRare has one. Yeah. And then
LooksRare
my other
definitely
question,
does.
Yeah, they have one. But I've got another question too. Did they, actually I forgot my question because I'm thinking about tokens right now. Yeah, I don't think they have a token at all. So, okay, I'm just, because I'm trying to compare it to LooksRare because I know LooksRare's got their token. But yeah,
I mean, LooksRare, I think that is the question for these big NFT marketplaces that are commanding really huge valuations. When do we get the Uniswap of NFTs, right? And we saw a little bit of movement around that with Uniswap acquiring Genie, which was a NFT sort of aggregator. But I think as it relates to OpenSea and Magic Eden, there has yet to be the decentralized exchange equivalent that has come along to eat some of these big companies' lunches, right? These are companies that are valued in the multiple billions. Magic Eden is obviously growing to be more than just a Solana powerhouse. And it's going to be interesting to see if it's LooksRare or if it's some other decentralized exchange alternative to these sort of traditional NFT exchanges. It's going to be interesting to see if they can establish a foothold. I think LooksRare had some early promise, definitely saw a lot of activity, some of which was wash trading to generate some token rewards. But for now, these big sort of centralized marketplaces have kind of replicated the Coinbase model, where they sort of have really taken the lead and run with it. They're adding services and trying to make their products the best possible to the market, especially as new people enter the market largely through NFTs. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's a decentralized exchange that unseats some of these giants or if they can retain their leads. But I'll toss it to Jen for her thoughts on that.
You know, a lot of founders come out with these really bullish statements when they announce news like this. And I want to point to co-founder, Magic Eden co-founder's statement, because I thought they approached it with a little bit of humility, and it was kind of nice to hear. He said, "We don't think winning on ETH will happen overnight. We're entering the market with humility and are prepared to build for a long while. With that being said, we have a strong conviction for our thesis, what NFT creators and collectors need from their marketplace." I think that's great. I think they're saying, you know, we're listening to what people want. We're looking to build more features, and we don't think we're going to take over, you know, some of our competitors overnight, but we're listening. And I really liked that statement.
That's so nice. We don't need to war. We don't need to have fights.
Nice.
We don't need little boxing guy
I went
match.
from the boxing match to that was so nice.
We're just here.
Just
We're
a
doing
whole
this.
range of emotions.
It's an emotional day, I feel like, very emotional.
I'm just kind of all over the place.